Whoa! Holy cow! Hi! How y'all doing today? Hopefully you can all hear me really well. I think I got the sound system figured out, so give me a thumbs up, whatever you do. But anyway, welcome to MACTFORDEDGE Live, and of course, what powers your drive today? Yes, we're going to go ahead and get started on a few things that I've been saving aside here today, trying to get all situated. Christmas is coming up, holy cow, all sorts of things going on, and I want to let you all know I have everything almost done for my Christmas shopping. This is a first. Yes, I'll probably wait till the very end to get the last stuff, but I got the big stuff already taken care of, and gifts and everything else like that. As far as for the girls and the wife and everything else, I'm done. I don't know where they're at, but I'm done, and that's all that counts in my book. Yeah, I'll just wait for my standard socks and underwear. What do you guys think? But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get a few things started. Just want to, of course, cover everything to see what is going on.
I'll just wait for my stand.
And, you know, sorry about that. I got a little bit of a noise thing going on. But,
of course, cover everything.
just trying to get everything. I don't want that echo, so hopefully I got rid of that. But anyway, we want to go ahead and start out like we always do with everything that goes on here. We start out with our new members, right? And we had a whole bunch of them. I forget where I put them all here, but they have, of course, been jumping in ever since I started posting that. So let's see who we got here for our new members. We had a good group growth on this, folks. We haven't even been in business here on the MACTFORDEDGE Facebook group for even a, 2 years yet. And we're already going to be jumping into that 2,000 member mark here way before our 2-year anniversary. So anyway, we have Jesus, Cecil, Roger, Peter, Robert, Tristan, Stephanie, Jerry, Todd, Joseph, Gustavo, Richard, Beth, Dennis, John, Aaron, Jennifer, and let's see, Craig, Oladell, Solomon, Jack, Ryan, Jennifer, Michael, Brian, Adrian, and Rick were the ones that made the cutoff today for the joining. That's about a good 25 or so of new members just for this week alone. So we're, of course, growing like mad and having a great time doing it. And remember, new folks, we live by our kindergarten rules. If my 8-year-old can read it, then you're good to go. Yes, that's how we do it. And, of course, we play nice and share, and that's how our rules work. But going back to the whole beginning of things, I even made a list. You guys believe that? I made a list of what I got to do. I'm almost trying to act like I'm, know what I'm doing here lately. So, but hey, I needed a list to keep track of my format that I want to go through. And of course, next thing we do is we go through some of the members' postings to make sure we can cover what's going on with everybody as far as their Edge, MKX, and what they're doing. And we're going to just start heading right down the whole list. Let's see, what do we got here? Bailey, she went and posted her Edge, complaining about that 68-degree weather, and had to wear a parka or something like that. So there's one. And then Steven, he's out in the frozen tundra of Canada, and I don't know what he's doing out there, but it looks like he's in the middle of a field, outstanding by himself. So wherever he's at, I don't know, but hopefully he stays warm out there. Let's see, what else do we have? Dash nav units, $90. He added that to his Ford Edge first gen. Looks pretty spiffy there, Johnny. You got a good deal on it. $90 at Wally World. So, hey, enjoy it and enjoy the newfound technology and connectivity. Let's see, Jesse. He's putting on some winter tires because he said he procrastinated. So anyway, he's out there trying to make sure that he can handle everything, and of course get them snow tires on that edge. That way you got better traction. Let's see. Oh yes, the year-end video. I'm going to be working on that, folks. So whatever you do, take and provide me with some photographs. And in case you didn't know, this is what I need, folks. Yes, this is what I need. I need it landscape, not this way. If you do it this way, I really can't use the photos or the video. All photos and video need to be in this format, okay? Take them in this way, I can use them. You know, you have no idea what this format does to my video editing. It's almost unusable. So, got to do the landscape thing, folks. And get those pictures up there for that year-end video. It takes a lot of work to put all these pictures together with music and everything else. So I'll have that all closed out by the 30th, and then we'll download all those photographs and videos. Yes, you can put videos up. I can add snippets of video into it. Give it some good motion and everything and make it look really good. And then, of course, the Band of One music will be right up in there. I will say in group photographs here lately, holy cow, folks, I don't know what's going on, but it's like a demolition derby out there. Holy cow. What's going on? All these crash and bangs. Wow. Thankfully, nobody's gotten hurt per se, but wow, be careful, folks, out there. You know, everybody's driving, they're thinking Christmas, and they're not paying attention to what they're doing. It's a hectic schedule, so you just have to be that much more defensive on your drive and commutes and everything else to where you're going. Not to mention vacation travels for holidays with family. So, you know, can't stress that enough. Make sure you're all there. And, of course, be careful. Let's see. Lately here, we've been having a lot of these halogen bulbs blowing out. And from everything I'm seeing, when you start upgrading to these real high-intensity halogen bulbs, they pop like popcorn, folks. They do not have a long lifespan. And I tried this back in, gosh, it was 2006. I started replacing them with some of these high-intensity halogen bulbs. And you know what? I started burning through those things like they're popcorn. And so I went back to essentially the factory equivalent, and I didn't have to replace a bulb again. So in this aspect for these halogen light systems, lifespan of the bulb is greatly reduced the higher the intensity of the bulb. I'm just going from my personal experience on that. So just keep that in mind. They will burn out faster. It's just a fact of life that that is going on there. So you just got to watch what you're doing. And let's see, what is everybody else doing here? Wanted to see what's going on here. Any comments, likes, dislikes, or anything like that that's going on. Looks like we got a couple people watching, and of course that's always good too. Let's see. Post your questions. I'll try to check them on occasion when I see them pop up. Let's see. The bellows for the accordion guards there. One of them popped off at Anthony's edge. I don't have mine connected. I haven't had water leaks. One mentioned water leaks. I have never had water coming in or anything like that. So all I can say is I've never experienced water or wind issues with them not connected. So, you know, maybe you have different, you know, experience than I do, but I just haven't had that experience. Let's see what else we got going on here. Calipers, there's a question about 07 Edge, and Mano corrected me on that just a little bit. The caliper brackets do need to be changed, but the calipers themselves do not. But you can go to the larger disc on the front if you get new caliper brackets. So that's the key to the whole thing right there if you're going to do that. And that was for the early on models, 07 or so. So you have to pay attention to that. Let's see, Tom, my man, you'd have a Motorcraft Oils on your Duratec for 190,000 miles, buddy. I have never opened up the valve cover on my Edge, and I tell you what, I'm going to compare mine with yours, and mine will be well over 220,000 miles by the time I get to it. So I'm just curious, you used all Motorcraft, and I have literally used almost every oil under the sun in mine. So I couldn't tell you what oil I'm using from one month to the next, but I can assure you they're all very, very good oils for the most part, because I've used Redline and AMSOIL and all fully synthetic oils to run through my Edge. So we'll just see where it's at, what it looks like. Hey, you might get the Clean Engine Award as far as that goes, and I may end up with grease packed in it and just shut it up and say, oh well. But that's pretty good. I love the picture on that. That is a clean, well taken care of engine, so congratulations on that. Let's see, Kevin, he's out playing the Griswolds, and apparently he's got his Christmas tree inside his Edge. I guess that's one place to put it. I was hoping for it to be on the top of the roof, and then watch Kevin scrub pine tar off of his Edge for the next 6 months. But anyway, he wrapped it up in plastic and didn't take any chances. Me, I just swing it in there and call it a day, and then unpack it and take it to the car wash, let them vacuum it out. But anyway, that's a pretty good deal. What else do we got going on here? Let's see. Some other group issues going on. We had about cleaning the door jambs. I will say that everything that is in the door jamb there that is on the outside of the gasket is going to get dirty. Okay? Some folks are posting it's accumulating dirt and all this other stuff. And yes, I understand it will. And that it will. That's why I take it to the car wash, and that's why they wipe everything down, hose it down, clean it, and then get it all nice and clean. But as long as it's not permeating through the door gasket and on the interior side of the car, then it's doing its job. There's no problem. This is just inherently to the nature of the beast that you're going to have to deal with on the cleaning side of things. And there's not much you can do about it other than keep it clean. Let's see what else we got. Okay, I'm making a video for y'all and try to publicize this a little bit more. I know we do it in the group, but I'm going to make one because Tuesday I will be going to pick up my seat belts, and then later on in the week I will make a video about the seat belts and of course using them in the Edge and what you can get and everything. Those seat belt extensions. Yes, I'm going to go and put that out there so you all know how to do it. I even went up and recorded me ordering them and everything else. So you'll know exactly what you got to do and say to get them. And trust me, it's not hard. Just go up and say you want seatbelt extensions for your Ford Edge. And bang, Bob's your uncle, you get them. It's that easy, folks. Anyway, in case you didn't know, now you know. Let's see. What else do we got? Karen Howell, she has got her baby up and running again. Yes, water pump, oil pump, VCTs, chain, timing chains, tensioners, you name it, guides and everything else. Got that 07 up running sweet again. And of course, she hopefully will mail me these parts. And I will do a dissection on what appears to be a decently maintained water pump. Yes, this water pump had no damage. So I'm going to cut that bad boy in half, and we're going to see what kind of wear it has on it at the mileage and see if it was ready to fail or what was going on. And then the oil pump and some other things, we'll go ahead and check those out, motor mounts, whatever she had there. We'll, of course, get those dissected and see what's going on at that type of mileage for her 07. And that's really what we're looking for is, hey, how are things wearing out? What can we expect from our Ford Edge as we're driving it? And then what kind of maintenance do we have to do to keep it running? And that's always a good thing. Let's see. What else do we have here? I posted up a video on some other things, so by all means go and check that out. Other than that, we had some funny pictures posted up there and some other information. Car crashes galore, like I said. Holy cow, policemen even got caught up in one. But that's pretty much what we're going to cover on that. So what else do we have? We have Ford news. Yes, nothing on the edge. It's a pretty slow month for Ford news. I will say that I did go over to my local dealer and had a chat with a salesman and everything else, trying to get an idea what the cost on a new Ford was going to be. I ain't going to tell you what model Ford I was checking on. Some of you guys that know me probably can guess. But anyway, when it's due to come out and everything else. So I'm starting to save my pennies, yes. I'm starting to put every penny I can in my piggy bank. Because, yeah, I want to get one. I already got one, but I want the new one. So anyway, what is Ford doing? Ford is opening up a new autonomous vehicle research center down at Corktown Historical Building in Detroit, Michigan. They are going back to the roots, and they are opening up this autonomous division to operate and try to figure out how to get these autonomous vehicles up and running. It's like 200 people they're going to employ to do this thing, and they are working with Argo AI, which you guys may know because Argo AI is working with Ford to do a couple different things. You guys ever heard of Lyft? You ever heard of Domino's Pizza? Yeah, autonomous taxis and autonomous pizza delivery. That's what you're looking at. So they're working with that, and then they're also working with their hybrid electric vehicles for their Zoti Ford company, automobile company in China. Yes, their Chinese are working really hard at trying to get electric vehicles on the road. I think that's because of the air pollution and everything else there that I always hear about in the news. So that might be part of the drive there. But Ford is definitely starting to throw some money at this autonomous thing and trying to get that going. So we can see that in the future. We already got part of it, right, folks? We got all these sensors in our cars already. It's only a matter of time before they marry them up to the brain in the car and they take our brain and get rid of it. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. You know, kid gets in a car. Are they going to have two different classes of driver's license? One where the person only can be in the car and in it to ride around, and the car does all the driving, and then another license where they can be in the car, and if something goes on, they can push a button and go to manual operation, but they have a special license for manual operation. Does that make sense? I think it does, because some people may not be manually licensed, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, they won't be able to drive the car. If it fails, they'll just hit an emergency button, call button, and say, come get me, I'm broke down. And others would be able to say, well, I can drive and maneuver my car myself, so I just push the manual override button, hit a code, and you can do your own thing. Sounds a little Big Brother-ish to me, but hey, you never know. That could be what's going on in the future. So what else do we got? I reiterate the year-end video, folks. 30th of December. I am going to start working on it. So if you don't have it into me by the 30th, then it'll be too late. But I do stress, I see a lot of pictures. I want to see some video too, folks. Little 15-second clips. It ain't going to be much. I don't need long. I just need to have them. And if you want, get them to me and I can download them and get them in there. I'll put my OneDrive out there for you guys to load up videos and everything else. So we get good quality video. Facebook degrades video something fierce. So watch out for that. What else do we got going on? Like I said, MACTFORDEDGE growth on Facebook and YouTube. Yes, doing really good. He just passed over 3,700 subscribers on the YouTube channel. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, by all means, please do so to help support me and watch those videos. And then the Facebook group, like I said, we are going to be I'm going to estimate well over 2,100 group members by our 2-year anniversary. and that means that we are the fastest growing Ford Edge Facebook group on the internet. Yes, the fastest growing. Others have been around a lot longer, and we're just behind, nipping at their heels. So definitely pays to be part of the group, because we're just having a great time doing it. And the other thing, SoundCloud. If you folks have not gotten onto my SoundCloud, by all means do so. You're going to hear a mix of a lot of different things, and one of them is the SoundCloud. I try to throw in little Easter eggs here and there, and I'm working on a format and everything on it to make the SoundCloud separate from Facebook and from YouTube. The SoundCloud is going to have just audio files and podcasts for different topics than what I am really addressing on YouTube or in this Facebook Live. Now, I do post these Facebook Lives to the SoundCloud so you can listen to me while you're driving down the road. And my wife says she's tired of listening to me drive down the road, so she don't want to hear the podcast. But that's my wife, right? So she hear me anytime. But in case you want to, this show, say you didn't want to watch the video, but you got an hour going down the road and you want to listen to it, SoundCloud. And, of course, you can download it as a podcast and listen to this as you're driving around if you want that entertainment aspect of it. I don't know. I've listened to myself, and, who knows. But it's always fun. But I do try to make sure that I do offer a different format and information on the SoundCloud podcast. So, by all means, try it out. It's growing pretty good. I've developing a little bit of a following there, and it keeps growing. So it'll get better and better. And right now, it has no advertising associated with it, so it is no advertisements. It's just a straight shot through it, so you don't have to worry about advertisements. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Okay, this is really what the meat and potatoes of this whole thing was going through. And that is the transmission torque mount, and then the driver's side transmission mount, and then the engine mount on the passenger side of your Ford Edge. Now, as far as this goes, there are 3 mounts that you're going to have to deal with. The most common one that fails is the transmission torque mount, and that's that little dog bone looking thing that you're going to have underneath your edge, and it will be connected by your catalytic converter to your frame, and that's what keeps the engine from tilting when you go forward or reverse. Now, it has large rubber bushing in it, and then it has a smaller rubber bushing. Now, you see in this videos here, you can see it moving back and forth, and all this other stuff in my videos I've made. And then you've seen a good one where it don't move as much. Now, why does this one really pay attention in there if you're in an accident? If you're in an accident, this thing can be jammed and smashed, and then this rubber could be just smashed in, and it could cause more loose movement. Now, if you get in an accident, you stop, you go to drive it, and they don't check this, then when you go down to drive down the road, you could end up with a lot more sway. Now, these things wear out, too, so you could have an issue there. And, getting your insurance company based on miles to say, hey, it was damaged there, it was damaged from where, that's up to you folks to argue that case out. But I will tell you they wear, too, so it might be a hard thing to say it was caused by damage in the accident. But my whole point is not who's responsible, but to check it, to make sure it's in good shape. So this is one that can be definitely torqued really hard, and it could literally be bent, and damaged in an accident, because that's a lot of weight you're putting on it when you come to a sudden stop in an accident, and that can cause a lot of damage on that too. So that's one point you want to check. Now, when you're driving and everything, you want to check that for a lot of play, and it'll feel like the transmission's really slushy, and when you shift, and it feels like it's got a lot of slush to it. It doesn't want to accelerate good or stop good, back up, and it has a lot of movement to it. Now, on the passenger side, you have your engine mount, and this is this engine mount here on the 2007 up through the 2014 is a rubber insert engine mount. Okay, they changed it in 2015 to a fluid-filled or hydraulic type mount, but up until then they were just rubber. So you have this engine mount here, and that can rip and tear and get damaged too in the process, especially in impacts and everything else. And what happens is the rubber tears, and this is usually the main type of failure on this type of mount, is the rubber will fail. And then of course on the hydraulic ones, the fluid filled ones, you have leakage and everything else, and that can cause them to fail. Now, and it's pretty simple, if you open your hood you can see it right there on the left side, and it's that big round thing with bolts and everything going on there. You know, you'll know it when you see it. But on the driver's side, you now have another one you see in this picture and everything, and this essentially has a bracket that's like this, and it mounts right onto your frame, and then you bolt it top and bottom, and it holds the transmission. Now this one also fails in that it rips and gets destroyed. So the rubber that's in there gets ripped, torn, cracked, broken, and this is another thing you got to check. Now the only problem with these motor mount and the trans mount is that you can't tell if they're damaged by looking at them. And one, you can't even see. Okay, you got to take them apart to look at them and remove them. So the trans mount on the driver's side is below the battery. You can't even see it for one. So that's going to be hard to get. You got to pull the battery box out and air cleaner and everything else to even get down to the thing. Okay, so when you get to pull it out, then you can inspect it and see if it's ripped, torn, or worn out. And you got to figure after, you know, so many miles, the rubber's going to give way. It's not going to be in good shape. And it depends on these motor mount and the trans mount and transmission torque mount. Depends on you, the driver, too, folks. How well do you drive? Are you an easy driver, or are you a gas and go? Okay, gas brake. Holy cow! You could tear these motor mounts up and have all sorts of problems. That will, of course, cause all sorts of issues too. Now, in determining this in an accident, the only way they can look is if they inspect. Now, can you ask them to inspect? Because drivability is where you're going to find the problem. And that's where you're going to have to make sure that you make a decision and talk with your insurance adjuster to determine, is it damaged or isn't it? You know, and then they got to say, well, from where or from the accident. If it's not got physical damage to it from the accident, then they're going to say it's just wear. So again, that's an argument between you and your adjuster as far as what you're going to do. I'm just pointing out you need to check them. Now, since there's really nothing upgraded on these, there's nothing available, folks, for the motor mount or the trans mount on either side. There's nothing out there. You're stuck with Ford OEM or aftermarket Anchor products. Anchor makes most of the motor mounts that you're going to find on the shelf. Don't let them fool you. They're the ones that are making them. But their quality of rubber that they use and everything else can be called into question at times, although they swear that they have the best quality product on the market. Have seen, as you saw, we changed one on an MKX, and it was a Anchor mount, and then we went back with OEM, and there was a night and day difference. So the Anchor mount was definitely subpar. I don't know what the situation of it was, but there was a vibration. Now I'm going to assume that the Anchor rubber that was used was harder, therefore it transferred more vibration. And that leads me into a whole nother topic, because I'm actually working with one company, and I got one here locally that I'm going to experiment with in getting a transmission torque mount refurbished, essentially a new one. And I'm working with this. They make racing products here locally, and I'm going to see about getting a polyurethane transmission torque mount done with polyurethane bushings. I'm going to install it on my Ford Edge. Now, this is what's going to happen. Okay, this is not going to be for the person who wants a soft, cushy ride. This polyurethane will transfer more energy into the body of the Edge. It will cause more vibration. But there are benefits if you have this type of thing, because they really make a couple different ones that you can look at. We got the soft, cushy rubber ones that give, and a worn out transmission torque mount. If you saw the video in mine, that thing moved a total of 4 inches, about 2 inches one way and 2 inches the other, for a total of 4 inches. That's 4 inches of your engine moving. And when you hit the gas, you feel that sluggishness. It feels like it's not taking off good, and it's not accelerating right, and it may cause a little bit of a torque steer in the process too, because now the engine's twisted and pulling, so you can get more enhanced torque steer out of that from it wearing. So that's why you want to do, change them when they do get worn out. Now, then there's LCAs. There's a whole other slew of things, but that's where we're going with this. Now, they make other specialty ones, and you have to make them yourselves. And the one I'm talking about is a polyurethane insert, and instead of the rubber, it's a polyurethane. We all know polyurethane is going to be a harder, rubbery substance that will not give nearly as much as rubber. So therefore, it'll hold some vibration, but it'll still send a lot of vibration through the car. You may even feel it in the steering wheel, and that's the deal. That's the whole point behind what I'm saying, is I'm going to have this done, out of pocket, see if I can't get the racing people to do this locally and make it, and maybe they'll tell me a price. Maybe they'll want to make them on demand. It's going to cost more, okay? But you will have an option to get a higher quality part that they can make with polyurethane, and of course have that. So it'll be billeted aluminum, just like the casing. And what I envision is they will probably just use the existing one and replace it with polyurethane bushing somehow, and then of course the insert. So it'll be the same part. It'll just have different rubber or polyurethane in place of rubber. So that's my envision if they can do that. But will that give me acceleration and handling control? You betcha, because now it's not moving as much. It's stuck there, so now my acceleration is better because now the engine ain't twisting on me as much, if you understand what I'm saying. So you put a Ford Edge side by side, one's twisting the engine up when you take off and the other one's staying straight. And I have a video, if you guys watch that, you can see my engine tilting with that trans mount and when I'm accelerating hard. So you can see where that does the effect of it, and it causes an issue. Now, we could go one step further for the race car division, and we could make it out of complete billeted aluminum with no give. Yes, that's right, straight aluminum, bolted on, and then every vibration from that engine goes right through your car. Now, most people won't like that at all, because now the car's just sitting there shaking while it's sitting there waiting at the stoplight, okay? Most people won't like that. Most people probably won't like the polyurethane I'm talking about. But if you're working on your Ford Edge and you're wanting to get a little more performance out of it, this may be one little piece towards the puzzle that we can do to add more performance parts to it to help on our shifting and driving and acceleration and everything else. The next thing I want to work on, of course, are the LCAs and their bushings in there, because those things give a lot too. And see if we can't get some polyurethanes in those bushings to help keep the torque steer down. Because when you accelerate, those LCAs really twist hard in that rubber, and that causes that torque steer on there. If you make those harder, there ain't as much torque steer. Okay, so that's really what I'm aiming for, but baby steps on all this thing. So you want to make sure that whatever you do, you work on this and check these parts out if there's an accident. And I'll let you all know what's going on as far as the development here, because I got the company just down the road from me, and I've been talking with them. I got another one out of California, so we'll see where we go with this, and then what the cost and everything else ends up being. And that comes down to it. Are you willing to spend the money? And of course, it's not going to be a $39.95 Anchor transmission torque mount, I can tell you that. But you know, if it comes in at under $200, it might be a good deal for a little bit of a performance and handling upgrade on your Ford Edge. And especially you guys that have sports and everything else, you know, you probably like that. So that may be something that is to look forward to as far as operation of your Ford Edge on that one. But that was pretty much it on the transmission torque mounts and everything else that go in that direction, and the accidents and scenarios on that. Now what about this? Yes, MACT t-shirts. Okay, I will let you all know after the first of the year, once I talk to the supplier, get a few things figured out. It's looking like they may probably end up being vinyl t-shirts, which is fine. I've washed these multiple times, worn them all the time, and they're holding up good. So good quality shirt. It's a good MACT, and of course be working on selling these in the future. Now here's the deal. There's a large output of cash that goes along with this. So I will tell you all up front, once I figure out the price, it'll include shipping, okay, because you got to pay for the mail, you know, and then PayPal takes their cut out of it, and I can only imagine they're going to take a good buck or so out of each sale. So you got to figure everything into it when you do go to sell these. But I will be selling them, you know, and I'm not going to sell them to get rich, folks. I'm just going to sell them so I don't go broke, okay? You know, so, but what will happen is a t-shirt will not be sold unless it's paid for. If you stop to think, you know, the potential part of it, as far as the t-shirts go, that's a lot of output in cash. And of course, the vendor is going to demand money from me to go out of my budget, and my budget won't be able to handle that. So there's a certain amount of good faith that will have to be done by me. I think I've proven myself to be faithful to y'all, and of course do the right thing. But it's probably going to be a prepay. I'll have to, of course, get a spreadsheet going on this one to cover it, because there'll be different sizes and everything else. But we will be selling the t-shirts after the first of the year. And I realize I'll be lucky if I sell 100 shirts. I, you know, barely sold 100 stickers. So, you know, that's not even what I would say. 100 stickers out of 1,000 people. Yeah, that's 10%. Right now, though, I'm running more like 5%. So, you know, not a very high demand. And hey, you know, it's what you want. But I will be selling them. And of course, I'll let you all know. And then on PayPal account, of course, is where you're going to pay. But I have to establish the shipping costs. Everybody's taking their cut out of me on the way. So, you know, like I said, I'm just going to make it so that I don't go broke doing this. But there's a little time and effort that goes into it. But we will be selling them. And then, of course, if there's any changes to the shirt, I will let you know. But right now, I'm going to try to leave it the way it is for what you saw. And then, of course, in the future, maybe modify it. But right now, I think we're leaving it that. And we, you know, and I'm even thinking you can have it in any color you want as long as it's black. Might as well stick with the old Henry Ford saying, right? But anyway, that is predominantly it, folks. By all means, if you want to take and get a hold of me, of course, get on to Facebook if you're on YouTube. I do not have comments activated on my YouTube channel, so if you want to get a hold of me, join the Facebook group MACTFORDEDGE on Facebook, because that's where you're going to get a hold of me. Also, if you want to get a hold of me anytime on Facebook, message me, or of course just call me out on the group page and you'll get a hold of me there. And of course, join the MACTFORDEDGE Facebook group and YouTube channel. Just like and subscribe. And then, of course, my V had the floor today, and I'm having a great day. And I want you all to have a great day, too. And with that being said, Mercy Girl's going to have a couple of one-liners to toss at you. And then, of course, the Band of One's going to be playing some music for y'all. So you want to make sure you catch that wonderful music. And at the end of the year, that will be all the Band of One music that we'll be playing. I'll make it so that you all enjoy that. If nothing else, have a great day.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.